Good afternoon, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Gerard.
Sarah here.
Hey, like, subscribe, share.
Yes.
Press that button, please.
It doesn't take that much time.
Doesn't take no time at all.
Nope.
No, it doesn't.
You can do it while you're listening.
You can do it while you're listening. You can do it like, so that way, the little bell thing right there, you can hit that and they ring that bell. But today, we want to talk about a couple things. One, you know, times are tough. Sometimes things are good. Sometimes things are bad. And there's a couple ways we can kind of look at it. But I've always been told that, you know, you always do your best, right? Always do. So we can equate it to sports. We can equate it to business. We can equate it to all the kinds of things. Like, cause you know, I look back and I used to have a couple bosses back in the day that no matter what, right? Like as I was telling Gage today, perfect example was he got yelled at by coach. Coach screamed at him. And I was like, well, how'd you do? He said, well, I did good. He said, but he always finds that one thing I didn't do. And he yells at me for that. I was like, oh, man, he likes you.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely. If he noticed the one thing you didn't do.
Not just that. I said, who are you playing against? He goes, somebody that wasn't as good as me. I said, so did you destroy him? He goes, yeah, I beat him, but, you know, I could have did that. So what it is like, what my boss used to tell me, we'd have like an easy day. The weather would be great. All the people would show up. The work wouldn't be that hard. All this stuff, right? And if we didn't exceed expectations by a lot, he would scream at us. Even though we did what we do. He's like, yo, man, you have to kill the easy days because the hard days are coming.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
I need to type this in my notes.
You know what you need to type in your notes?
What?
Type this in your notes. Make hay when the sun is shining.
Oh.
Write that down. Make hay. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
That's the saying. That's what
Okay.
people say. I remember, look, so real estate.
I've never heard that.
You've never heard that before?
No.
If guys, somebody's heard make hay, unless you're like 20 years old. Somebody's heard make hay while the sun is shining before. Because I'm going to tell you what happened. It was like 2022, 2021. Real estate was great. And I was talking to this builder. I was like, hey, man, how you doing? Great. I'm making hay while the sun's shining. Because he knew that at some point the market was going to turn. So what I'm trying to say is you can't take days off when it's easy. Because when the hard day comes, if you work at 110%, 100%. What did the lady said today? You can't do 110 because I'm a math teacher. That was yesterday. That's what happened. Yeah, somebody said that. I heard that yesterday. So you can't. All right. If you work 100% and it's easy, that's why coaches get mad when their team in the first week of college football and they win 85-7, and they're like, "Yo, why'd you let them score 7?" Because you're playing against a team that you should blow out.
Yeah.
Because when you play against a team that's any good,
I don't like that tradition.
I don't like it either. But when you play against a team that's any good, you're going to struggle. So you gotta, on the easy days, you have to work with the same. It's so hard to keep it's hard to keep your intensity high when things seem easy. Because when they get hard, you start struggling. But if you do good on the good days, then when the hard days come around, you can have a bad day.
Or like all summer long, when it's summertime, kids are out of school, you just want to be outside and at the pool. You don't want to come to work. You want to call out all summer. But then all of a sudden, school starts and you feel like you should have had a job yesterday. And you're trying to make all the hours and you're trying to do all the things, right?
Yep. Or like the person, or like, all right, here's another one. Here's another thing.
What?
I'm talking about like people like this, right? So you don't get fired. You don't get fired for calling out the day that your grandmother died. You get fired because you called out on the day that your friend was in town and you wanted to hang out downtown. And then your sister was in here and then you were watching a football game. When you called out all those times and then when your grandmother died, I got fired. No, you got fired for all the other times that you weren't there.
Yeah.
You got fired for all the easy times that you were supposed to show up,
right?
And you didn't,
right?
So that's when I hear, "Oh man, I got fired because I got a flat tire." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. Let me see." And the way I used to always ask, "Let me see your attendance record." Well, man, you know, I got this time, this right here, and then this right here. So
yeah, like we have, you know, it's busy in the summertime, right? There's no school, so we are extremely busier. and nobody wants to work, and it's so hard to find somebody that wants those hours. And then the second school kicks back in, we're slow again, and now they need 40 hours a week.
Yep, and you're not bringing them in, and they need 40 hours a
and
week.
I can't help you with that.
And then the people, what kills me is the people, we're going to go off on a tangent. What kills me is the people who say they call out because this job doesn't give me enough hours. You mean to tell me?
But then you call them when you have a call out. Hey, can you cover for this person? No, not tonight. I was gonna do this. I'm going for a walk. I'm going to dinner with so and so.
Yeah.
But you complain you don't have enough hours.
I had a guy one time that quit his job because this job didn't pay enough money. I was like, "Where are you going to work?" He goes, "I don't know yet, man. I'm going to find a job." So let me get this straight. You're going to quit a job. You're going to quit a job because this job doesn't pay you enough money, but you're going to go home and do no job.
While you find a job.
That's what you're going to do.
Make it make sense.
I'm sorry, buddy, kick rocks. So, I mean, that's really it. But nah, what I'm trying to say is like, there's going to be days where you show up to work and it's going to be super easy and you're going to have a light day at work. And people take the day off or they take it light or they don't work as hard as they want to work. And then when the day gets hard, because that's used to happen, we'd have like the greatest day, the greatest work setup, and we would just, barely make it by. But then you play to the level of your competition. And that's why coaches get so mad. Like because coach is trying to find something wrong. Because if you're beating somebody 50-0, coach is trying to find all the things wrong because he knows that you're supposed to win 50-0. So you can't come in and win 14-7. That's just as bad as losing.
Or 9-10.
Or 9-10. The freaking guys lost 9-10. Should have beat that team.
Oh,
they're gonna regret that. They're gonna regret that.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna come back to haunt them. I'm telling you, that ain't good. But
so
yes,
make hay when the sun is shining.
Make hay when the sun is shining. Do the best you can when you can, because winter's coming. And winter's coming, and it's going to get cold, and things are going to get scary. So just like in this real estate thing, it sucks right now. It's like it's winter, right? But if you work hard right now? But what's going to happen is this is what I hate. What's going to happen? I'll tell you about it in real estate. People say, "Man, when I first got started, I used to hold open houses. I used to do this. I used to do that." And then I'm like, "Well, why don't you do that anymore?" "Oh man, I don't need to do that anymore." Like, why? like that's the things you did,
right?
And it worked. So
you started out, you built up the momentum, then you got it going, and then you started working on the people that you had got the momentum from. Yeah. And then you got done with those people, and now
you're done.
You're back at
you're starting back over again.
Zero.
So you can't. So like right now, I tell people that get into the real estate market, this is the best time to get into real estate because it's hard. It's a lot of stuff. You're gonna get your heart broken.
Yeah.
Stuff bad's gonna happen. Stuff's gonna fall apart. People are not gonna get qualified. Things are gonna happen, and you're gonna keep fighting and fighting and fighting. So then when things turn around, because they always do, what comes around goes around every single time. The job market's cyclical. The real estate market, the housing market, the used car market, it all goes in circles. But what's going to happen is people that are working so hard right now, when the real estate market turns and things get easier for them, they're going to take the freaking week off.
Yeah.
They're not going to make hay when the sun's shining.
Right.
Because that's what most people do. And the 3 to 5% that do what they need to do consistently,
there's that word again.
They're going to be the ones that shine because they made hay when the sun is shining. So, and guess what? I'm preaching. I'm not preaching to the choir. I struggle from it too, but I have to remind myself, like, yo, man, I can't go play golf today. I got to go do these things.
Right. Because
that's what happens. You get paid. Things happen. Everything's great. Oh man, we're going to take off. You can't take off because you lose momentum. You know how hard it is. You know how easy it is to push a cart. All right, let me think about it. Like, you know how we push that cart when you're at the when we're moving kids in and out of school. The hardest part of moving the cart is at the beginning. You start pushing and you start like trying to get it going. But once you get it going, you're good
until you stop.
And then when you stop, it takes just as long to get that thing started again as it did the roll. It goes with everything in life.
Working out,
eating right, working real
Going
estate,
to work.
working,
Just go
going
to work when you're scheduled. Don't lose that momentum.
Don't call out. Look. I called out. Listen, I'm gonna tell you one thing right now. You can say whatever you want about me, but I'll tell you this: I called out of work one day in 23 years.
What happened?
The first time I called out.
Oh, you said you called out one day.
Yeah, the first time I called out. The first time I tried to call. Actually, I called out twice in 23 years. The first time, Mr. Thomas at Burger King, I called him up because my friends were hanging out, and I wanted to hang out with friends. I called him on the phone. I'm 15 years old. Mr. Thomas, I'm sick. I can't make it in. He said, Mr. Bullock, because back in the 90s, you called everybody by first name, by last name, Mr. and Mrs. Mr. Bullock, you have responsibility to be here, and no one's going to run that drive-through if you're not here. So if you're not sick, I suggest you get in here in the next 30 minutes. You understand me? I said, yes, sir. I never called out again. The second time I called out was I could tell you when it was. It was 2002. I picked up the phone. It was 2 feet of snow on the ground. Literally it was snowing. And I called up and said, hey man, I ain't gonna make it. He said, you telling me you can't make it in here? I said, yeah. He goes, well man, I think we're gonna close anyway. I said, all right, cool. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's another tangent. But yeah, you know what? Make hay when the sun's shining. Work hard when you can, because those days are coming. And don't call out of work when you ain't sick.
Right. I mean, it really is all about the momentum, right, and consistency. It is easier to keep doing something that you're doing, right?
Either way, whether good or bad, it's easier to keep doing it. All right, cool. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, cool. 11 minutes this time. Y'all have a great day.
All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.